That's right, these carbs don't make you fat. And this is not what you think. Many of us go around thinking that carbs are the enemy, especially those suffering from insulin resistance, prediabetes, type 2 diabetes, and that's simply not true. And in this video, we're going to go into why that is and tell you about what carbs you actually can have with your diet that are not going to make your insulin resistance worse. Now, I'm Rob. I'm the founder of Healthy You, where we help busy entrepreneurs, professionals, executives reverse their insulin resistance so they can lose fat, regain their energy, and overall improve their quality of life. And we're going to get into which carbs are actually causing your insulin resistance. Now remember guys, when we're trying to crush our insulin resistance and reverse it, our goal is to stabilize our blood sugar levels. Usually what leads to insulin resistance is our blood sugar levels being all over the place, and this is going to elevate our insulin levels, which is going to cause many of the symptoms that we have. Bloating, hypertension, high cholesterol. So we need to lower our insulin levels, and the best way we can do that is by stabilizing our blood sugar. So what throws our blood sugar into flux in the first place? Now we're told to believe that these are carbs, but in fact that's not true. Yes, carbs do convert to more glucose per gram than any macronutrient, but what leads to this is the anabolic environments in our body, meaning the only way that this happens is we need to be consuming excess calories, meaning eating in a caloric surplus, which is eating more calories than our body needs to sustain itself. And when we eat excess calories in refined sugars and carbs that contain saturated fat, this is what leads to insulin resistance. These are calorie-dense foods such as pastries, donuts, pizza, hamburgers, cookies, candy, pasta, bread, English muffins. These can even be in drinks like soda, dessert coffees from Starbucks or your favorite coffee shop, calorie-dense energy drinks like Monster, NOS, Red Bull. All these contain excess calories in sugars and carbs. And when you consume these foods over and over and over again, you will likely be in a caloric surplus because they're so calorically dense. And this is why carbs get a bad rap, because most people who develop insulin resistance are consuming carbs from these processed foods. And these foods are processed because they're stripped of their micronutrients, and they're designed to be as tasty as possible and stay edible as long as possible, and to not be satiating, so we crave more and can eat more of it, meaning we consume more and more calories from these foods. And that's what gets us in these situations. This is exactly how I developed pre-diabetes and gained 80 pounds over the course of a few years, is from consuming foods like this. However, these are the carbs that don't make you fat. If you were to strip away the processed carbs that I mentioned earlier in this video and replace them with carbs that come from whole foods, then you would be in a very good place to lose weight and reverse your insulin resistance. This is exactly what I did. I removed the processed carbs from my diet and replaced them with carbs coming from vegetables such as leafy greens, tomatoes, carrots, legumes such as black beans, pinto beans, chickpeas, even potatoes here and there. Why? Because these foods contained a lot of fiber, macronutrients, and antioxidants. These foods were very satiating and they were low in calories. I could consume these foods and carbs in large quantities, be a fraction of the calories that I would consume eating the same volume of processed carbs. And on top of that, they were satiating and they tasted good. It just took some time to acquire the taste. But these are carbs that you can actually consume in large quantities and not develop any type of insulin resistance. In fact, you can be pre-diabetic or even type 2 diabetic and consume a lot of lentils, legumes, vegetables, and your insulin resistance will actually improve. I know because this is exactly what happened to me. This is exactly what happened with a lot of the clients that I worked with as well. So keep this in mind. So remember, it's not carbs that are the enemy, and it's not carbs that are causing your insulin resistance. It's a particular group of processed foods that are causing your insulin resistance, and it's the quantity and frequency in which you eat them. That's what's causing your insulin resistance. So remember, carbs are not the enemy. It's the type of carbs and the quantity and frequency in which you eat them that is the issue. Processed carbs that are calorie dense, full of sugar, and designed to make you want to eat more and crave more of them, that's what's going to lead to insulin resistance. However, having carbs that come from vegetables, legumes, and some fruits, that's what's going to help heal your body and can lead to really crushing your insulin resistance long term. How I eat these foods is I actually have my vegetables or legumes first, and this allows me to eat a large quantity of them and get satiated, and then I eat my protein. And after eating those two foods in large quantities, I'm very full. And the best part about doing that is those two foods, if they come from meat, vegetables, legumes, are usually very, very low in calories. And you're usually not going to want to crave anything after eating them. But I hope this video was helpful to you guys in actually understanding which carbs actually affect your insulin resistance and which carbs you can actually use to help you crush your insulin resistance. Please be sure to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and you can DM me if you have any questions. And if you like this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell. We'll have many more videos in the future. Thank you, and follow me for more.